Hey there, and welcome. So, have you ever felt like managing your money is just way too complicated? You are definitely not alone. But what if I told you there's a simple, powerful framework that can bring some serious clarity to your finances? Well, today, we're going to break down one of the most popular methods out there, the 50-30-20 rule.
Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about budgeting burnout. Yeah, it's a real thing. Then we'll dive deep into what the 50-30-20 rule actually is. After that, we'll get practical and show you how to make it work. And most importantly, we'll explore how you can bend the rules to make it fit your life.
All right, first up, let's talk about something many of us know a little too well: budgeting burnout. You start off with all these great intentions, but then, somewhere down the line, the whole thing just kind of falls apart. Why is that?
Have you ever felt like this? You sit down ready to finally get your finances in order, and suddenly you're trying to track like 30 different categories of spending. You're accounting for every single cent, and it just gets so overwhelming so fast.
And that really is the heart of the problem. When a budget is too detailed, it just becomes another chore on your to-do list. You get sick of tracking every last coffee you buy, and eventually you just give up. The truth is, the simpler a system is, the more likely you are to actually stick with it. It's as simple as that.
So, what's the alternative to all that complexity? Well, meet the 50-30-20 rule. It's this amazing framework that totally ditches those dozens of confusing categories for a really simple three-bucket solution. The idea behind it is just brilliantly simple. You take your entire after-tax income, and that's the key part. It's the money that actually hits your bank account, and you just split it into three piles: 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for your savings. That's it. No more, no less. Okay, so what goes into that biggest bucket? The 50% for needs covers your absolute must-have essentials. We're talking about the bills you have to pay just to live and work. Things like your rent or mortgage, your power bill, basic groceries, gas to get to work, and yep, those minimum payments on any loans or credit cards. And now for the fun part, 30% for wants. This bucket is for everything that makes life more enjoyable but isn't, strictly necessary for survival. This is your money for dinners out, Netflix subscriptions, your hobbies, vacations, that cool new gadget you've been eyeing, all the good stuff. And finally, we have the last 20%, which is all about taking care of your future self. This is the bucket for savings and for paying down debt faster. So this is where you build up your emergency fund, contribute to your retirement accounts, invest, and make any payments that are above the minimum on your debts.
This quote really gets to the heart of why this rule just works for so many people. See, unlike those super strict budgets that can feel like a punishment, the 50-30-20 rule literally gives you a huge chunk of your money, that whole 30%, just for fun. It gives you permission to enjoy your life, which is exactly what helps prevent that burnout we were talking about.
Okay, let's put some real numbers to this to make it crystal clear. Let's say you bring home $4,000 a month after taxes. Using the rule, your budget would look something like this. $2,000 would go towards your needs, $1,200 is all yours for wants, and you'd put $800 towards savings and debt. See? It's a nice, clean, simple target for your money.
All right, so the concept is super simple, but how do you actually, put it into motion? Let's get into the practical side of things.
It really boils down to a four-step process. First, you've got to know exactly how much you take home each month. Second, track your spending for about a month and sort everything you buy into one of those three buckets: needs, wants, or savings. Third, compare what you actually spent to the 50-30-20 targets. And finally, the fourth step is to just see where you might need to tweak things.
Now this is where it can get a little tricky for people, telling the difference between a need and a want. That line can get blurry. The absolute best test is to be brutally honest with yourself and ask, could I actually survive without this? If the answer is yes, then it's a want. A gym membership feels essential, right? But you could run outside for free. High-speed internet might be a need if you work from home, but it's a want if it's just for streaming movies. This is where you got to do some real self-reflection. The good news is, you don't have to do all this with a pen and paper. Not unless you want to. You can use a simple spreadsheet, or you could use some really powerful budgeting apps that can automatically categorize your spending for you. You could even go low-tech and just set up different bank accounts or pots for your needs, wants, and savings.
Okay, and now we get to what I think is the most important part of all of this. Because look, a budget is completely useless if it doesn't work for your specific situation. So let's talk about how to adapt this rule to make it a perfect fit.
First things first, when you track your spending for the first time, your numbers probably won't line up perfectly with 50-30-20. And guess what? That is completely 100% normal. The point here isn't to be perfect right out of the gate. It's about gaining awareness and then just making small, gradual progress toward your goals.
This right here is the biggest and most valid criticism of the rule. I mean, what if you live in a city where your rent alone chews up 40% of your income? For a lot of people, keeping needs under 50% just isn't realistic. So does that mean the rule is useless for you? Absolutely not.
And this chart is where the rule's true power really shines through. It's flexibility. If your needs are high, hey, maybe you try a 60-20-20 split. If you're really trying to save up for something big, you could flip it to 50-20-30, cutting back on wants to beef up your savings. The whole point is to use these percentages as a starting point and then customize them to fit your reality.
So, no matter what percentages you end up choosing, here are a few final tips to make it all stick. First, pay yourself first. Automate your savings transfers for the day you get paid. Schedule a quick 20-minute meeting with yourself each month to review things. And give your money a mission by tying your savings to specific goals, like a vacation or a down payment.
So here's the most important takeaway. The 50-30-20 rule isn't about restricting yourself. It's not a financial diet. It's really just a framework to build awareness. It empowers you to see exactly where your money is going so you can decide if that's where you actually want it to go. It's about making that shift from just spending to making intentional, informed choices.
At the end of the day, the best budget in the world is the one you can actually stick with. This rule gives you an amazing starting point, a guide to help you find the right balance for your own life. So really, the only question left is, what's your rule going to be?